Okay, we're live. Look out. Just let me switch this up a little bit here. That's today's topic is, can I finish 200 one-page stories in 200 days? I'm not sure myself, but we're going to try. Okay, just want to switch my camera's all crazy down here. So I had everything set. And for whatever kookaburra reason, everything's kind of gone a little bit bonkers. Man, oh man, it doesn't end. Okay, well, we'll get this sorted out in 2 seconds. So, welcome everybody. Hey, Joshua, how you doing? First comment. Woohoo! For the win. How you doing, Josh? How's things? I got a couple things to present today. One of which is just sizing my stuff up a little bit here. A notion that I've come across. I am almost at 200 pages this year. So I'm almost on the 200th day. Now, I was thinking about this. I didn't start my day with the first, or I didn't start my year with the first. I started my year on January 15th. And we're aiming for 200 pages at some point. I don't know if it's going to be immediately, but we're doing our best. So we'll see how it goes. Okay. Well, this is as good as we're getting, folks. All right. So here's today's page. Thanks very much. Josh's nice comment to start off the day with. That's a really amazing car pile-up you drew there. That's thanks, buddy. That's I did 3 pages yesterday. Just I'm trying to catch up to 200, and I'm a little bit behind. So we'll get there. Okay, well let's get started with things. So those that don't know, I'm Christopher Runtsman. This is One Page Story Extravaganza, and people give ideas and suggestions for comic pages, and I write and draw a 1-page comic out of them, or longer, right? But the principal idea is to at least get a 1-page comic out of it, or 1-page story. I'm sorry. So we're on page 182 right now, on page 193, or on day 193. So, we're almost there. We're getting to it. But if you like what I'm doing, you can help me out if you subscribe and tell all your friends. Gary's joined us. Welcome aboard, Gary. Yeah, that helps. It helps a lot. If you got likes, that's super. Put your thumbs up. If you want to put the notifications on so that you know when I'm doing whatever next, which is Monday to Friday at 2 o'clock. That helps. I've also got a Substack. So if rather than scanning through all the pages individually, the Substack, I put the week's pages up at the end of each week. And so like last week, we were 8 pages. And this page is, or this week, we're already on, I posted one, we're already on 3. But so you'll see the extra pages that I'm not posting here. And of course, those are also on my Patreon. I just, I got a lot of juice trying to get some stuff done. So we're getting there. But sign up for the Substack. It's under my name as well. You can see a link down below. If you have a 1-page story idea or suggestion, put it in the comments. If you want to support what I'm doing, you can sign on to my Patreon. It's $3 a month. But yabba dabba do. Today's page, the suggestion was a person recounting a car accident. So that's what I went for here. I technically I got there. It ends with him saying, "Oh yeah, I think I was in an accident." So, because I don't know, not everybody is entirely lucid after they've been in a bender, and or in any highly adrenalizing moment, because, like I say, your body's kicking into gear. It's kicking the adrenaline up, or it's just survival instincts that come together for you. But it's sort of a state of shock. But sometimes when people are in accidents or have really impactful things happen immediately to them, they tend to sometimes have a cognitive dissonance about what just happened. So that's like, if you watch a person fall off a ladder, And every few people, someone will fall off the ladder and stop on their feet and go, "Whoa! All right, I got to get up this ladder." I didn't even realize it just came out one. So, it's fun. So that's what I was playing on here. Anyhow. Okay, so we're in process for getting everything together for the new book. This is the book I put out last year. This is one-page comic, Extravaganza, because it's in the upright format. This year's book is going to be in the landscape format, and it proceeds apace. So I'm very excited. Okay, let's get the camera switched up here. Get the overhead on. Just getting my stuff retooled here. For some reason, my system has rebooted on me twice, and I'm not entirely sure what's going on with OBS, but it's a problem. So we're sorting it out. We're sorting it out. Okay. Now I've got the BOT, the Book of Tricks, and that's Bag of Tricks is the bag that Didi pulls suggestions out of, or prompts out of, and the Book of Tricks is the one where I pull the suggestions out of. So we got a bunch of things that are still outstanding, but one of the things that we've got in front of me is a short autobiographical about a time I went to a submarine with my family. A conspiracy theory tack board as a page. A time I changed something in my mind about something significant I've just done. Adventures in the Space Bed is an idea. Pets Go on Strike is another idea. We got lots of stuff, but it's just a matter of whichever one sort of jumps off the page at this point. Here's a text message that's sweet, but autocorrects leading to a divorce or a murder. Yeah, I tend to try to look back and make sure there's no real outstanding ones, older ones that I'm not sure about, whether or not I finished in that, and just making sure I try to catch up. That's the whole thing about trying to go through the book and do all of these. And because I'm not just getting suggestions from here, I'm getting suggestions from outside of here. That's why there'll be pages that are coming out that you don't remember somebody giving that prompt on streams here. It's because somebody will walk up to me that I know and go and tell me something outlandish, like a person regaling about an accident they were just in. So Christopher versus Evil Christopher is an outstanding one as well. Elderly people going shoe shopping without actually buying them. The excitement of a grown man over a Happy Meal. just pure chaos. I do know this. I'm going to draw in ballpoint pen today. And, well, here's a piece of paper. We'll work on that. Red on blue. Let's see how that goes. I just did a page that had, the page that I posted today is in a hospital room, so I'm not going to do the Adventures in the Space Bed, because that's what that is referring to. Conspiracy tack board as a page. Well, it's an interesting one, but doesn't have any movement. Okay. Cat Zen Garden with a rake. See, I'm still finding more on the pages. I tried to write down everything that I had post-its. If any of the national holidays had to be celebrated twice a year, 6 months apart, what would it be? That's random. Let's do that. If any of the national holidays had to be celebrated 6 months apart. If any of the national holidays had to be celebrated twice a year. finish the sentence I'm on before I go to the next sentence. Which 6 months apart. Okay, let's just get into that. So that's the suggestion for today. Who's this from? Dee. No, it's from Dee. Okay, so I'm going to put that down here. That's kind of a neat idea because it sort of sets it up as sort of a dialogue. Like it sort of sets it up as a presentation. Somebody's going to present the idea, and then the rest of the page can be like a responsive thing. Like somebody says, "I love Christmas." So let's lean into that now. Let's do red on this blue, and I've got some different colored pens, and we'll throw some more into the mix. But I don't want to just sit with one color, so we'll do what we can and see what that gives us. All right. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope that everybody is having a good week so far. We are halfway through Monday on the East. On the West Coast, I guess you guys are just sort of getting yourselves rolling here. Slackers. What a bunch of slackers. They're 3 hours behind us, man. Yeah, that's how it works. All right, so the first panel is I want to present the idea with somebody. So I've got a little image over there that I'm going to kick out today's page from. And I think I might put a real spin on this because I want to make this strangely aggressive. I don't know why, but I do. So one of the things that I've had to do this weekend is to sit down and figure out why did I go this way on any given page. And I have to sort of figure out what was my inspiration beside this left turn. And that's challenging to do if you haven't got that sort of, like if your brain doesn't work that way where you can easily recognize, what was I thinking here? What was I doing? And I don't have that brain. I'm so spontaneous in the moment a lot of the time that, why'd you do that? Oh, did you cut down that tree? Yeah. But that it's a flip side, right? Like it's a trade-off, I guess, is what I'm looking for, because for how much I lean into my intuition, it allows me to get a fair amount of productivity done. But then when I try to sit down and put together my thoughts as to why I've done whatever it is that I've done, that becomes challenging. So, that was an interesting adventure this weekend. It's going through 60 pages and trying to figure out, well, why did you do this from this suggestion? Because the new book is going to have people's suggestions and a quick synopsis of what the idea behind it was, what the thinking was, the inspiration for it, and of course the image, right? So yeah, that was a lot of work. I did, however, have a really exciting and fun thing come out of this so far, in that the editorial has sent me a sort of responsiveness to what I'm doing and described my stuff in such a way that I hadn't actually looked at what I'm doing as. And I found that kind of interesting because it's hard to brand yourself when you don't really know what your brand is, or what it is that's that motivation that causes you to do things. And so this is why I don't have a problem with output, but I have a problem with, and I always have had a problem with, the whole legitimization of art thing. The people that have fantastic, descriptions and all of these nuanced, deeper meanings behind the 3 pieces of tape they just stuck to a wall. We'll see what it actually stands for. Is the positioning of individuals in society parallel to one another? I know. It's 3 pieces of tape, man. So that's always been a shortfall of mine. It's not really understanding that. So when it comes to what I myself do, and if you really want to have something of a go in that sort of fine art world, you got to be able to flap your yap that way. You know, that's possibly the only reason people go to art school, from what I understand. So unfair. I know how unfair that is. There's more reasons than that people go to art school. They want debt. That's not fair either. I know there's more reasons than that. Parents want them out of the house. I could do this all day long. I'm terrible. Actually, it's important for people to have an opportunity to get access to development and information, and some people require an institutional setup in order for them to learn. So, it's not that I'm just completely delegitimizing school entirely. The tape represents the recording of history. It acts as a record. There are 3 tape timelines represent the 3 variations of perspective one can take on history. Christopher bringing the fire to art school. Hey, I love that. No, sorry, I'll stop. There are people that require that. They require a setting where they need to learn how to utilize tools. They need to learn that they need the availability of access to find those things available for them readily in an institutional setting, and with somebody that has some degree of knowledge before they start doing raku firing and exploding their backyard. I think that it's going to change. I think it's going to change, and it's going to change dramatically, because with the magic of the all-powerful interwebs, it is more and more going to eliminate the necessitation of these institutions and their, diplomas and degrees and so on and so forth. There's so many positions that people go to school for that they don't really require a degree for at all. Jean Baudelaire's Procession of the Simulacra is reflected within each strip. Get out. So good. Oh, big dramatic entrance. It doesn't work if you say a dramatic entrance, Jim. You got to come in and go, ah, yowza, yowza. That's how you got to do it. Or you got to say something provocative, or kick the door open. So, yeah, I think that things are going to change, because J-Boy's banned from all societies. Bringing that J-Boy heat. For those that don't know, the J-Boys are Josh and Jim, and nothing else. So I'm trying to draw snarly face goofball as he's carrying on about, the holidays situation. Like I said, I want to do this page because the notion of it is so, many of the national holidays had to be celebrated twice a year, 6 months apart. Which would it be? So let's put a little bit of spin on that. I wanted to say a different word there. I want to say stank, but that doesn't make any sense. So we're gonna turn this into a full-blown argument, full-blown throwing it down. I think fart school is a much better place to go. Fart school than art school. We set a bar, folks. I'm tired of being so pretty. I don't think you guys respect me for my mind. Yeah, we do. We very, very much do. We also appreciate your cooking and your choices and fine denims. Not many people can rock a denim tuxedo these days. They say to themselves, no, I'm going to have some style. Gary says, that's not true. I think you're really clever for a dame. Quiet, Chip. Let's talk and more moving those guys. You guys are on fire today. Okay, so I've got my really angry, aggressive guy coming together here. I'm always debating. This is a little silly, I realize, but I'm always debating whether or not to draw eyes when I draw glasses. I think that there are times where a person not having eyes readily visible can add something to an image, to the story that's sort of implied by there's a menace in the lack of eyes, or if it's a scary situation and you want a degree of ambiguity for how the person really is reacting, you can just draw them in that menacing situation, but their glasses are just reflective. There's a whole bunch of reasons that I won't put eyes on a character as I'm working. I find that it can offer so much. I know it's a random way to think about glasses, but well, now there's guys that work in ballpoint, guys and gals that work in ballpoint, that every line they put down has a gestural movement or a direction that it moves in for the plane that it's meant to represent. And I'm always impressed by that, but there isn't an ounce of me that can stick to that. It's I always consider it halfway through, or oh yeah, I should be doing this. It's too late now. It's just, one of those things. It just tends to be how it goes, that you don't really think about it too much at the time. And by the time you do, well, you've already set the tone. You've already set the language for how you're doing pages. So it's fun to think about, though. So did anybody have any great adventures on the weekend? Did anybody do anything that they went, woo, survived that? Boy, I hope nobody ever finds out about that situation. Tell us all about it. You can trust us. Turn the camera on. Got say that I kind of wasted my weekend. Both my wife and I have been feeling under the weather. And yeah, there goes whatever plans we might have had. It's going to build a boat. No. It's going to carve out a canoe. Uh-oh, here we go. Have you ever sensed an individual? That's not going to be our question of the day. Because you guys are just going to be like, yes and yes. And that sort of brings it to a close. I was thinking about one of the things that I've been doing is going through my bookshelves and considering about what books can I showcase, because it's kind of interesting when you watch streams and other people talk about, hey, here's some books I've got on my shelf. I found it compelling when a few of the streams I watch, Gary has done it. It's interesting. Read that, Jim. Read it. So I have to take photos of the whole of our bookshelves because of part to do with my will, and I've come across some books that I really want to show people. Let me see if I have one close. Maybe not. Cheese. So, oh yeah, here it is. So this is a book that I think people might find really interesting. This is Paramus by Alberto Breccia. I like Alberto Breccia a lot. And once Saturine, I'm mispronouncing these names brutally, I'm positive of it. But this is, I don't know if people are familiar with Breccia's work, but this is an entire beautifully illustrated in inks book by Breccia. And if you have the opportunity to find things like this, I highly recommend you do, because some of these books, they just operate on such a different level. There's such a complexity in the work, and it's my understanding that he did them. Somebody's told me that he did these all these pages in color, which makes me desperately want to see them in color. So look at this use of shape and contrast here. Fantastic. I'm missing stuff. Breccia is fantastic. Love that type. Yeah. There's so much great stuff in a book like this. It's some of these types of books. Oh, that's fine. They're kind of pretty too. That's what you're talking about. But these are just gorgeous. I'm going to try to just show a book each day, I think, on the stream here. But today's book is Paramus, The City and Oblivion. Okay, Breccia and Assess Terrain. Probably mispronounced those, but that's today's book. All right, I think I got to put this guy's eyes in because I don't think he's menacing enough. I want him to be more menacing. So let's see how he is with the jaw out, and then we'll decide from there. It's kind of fun. It's kind of a fun face. Really pent up, really uptight, really snarky. Breccia's Dracula is really fun to look. An inappropriate photo is appropriate photo may the only unequivocally good thing to come out of smartphones. Breccia's Dracula is really fun to look at. I think the most interesting thing that cell phones have equipped. Breccia's Dracula, by the way, it's over on that shelf. That is gorgeous. I love that book. You. We're talking about you. Anyways, I'm a little too close to the books. I think the most interesting thing that has become available to people with cell phone technology that has phones with cameras in them specifically is that the immediacy. Everybody has always got cameras at this point, and everybody has always got the access to recording anything that's happening at any moment. And so there's all these great incidents that might have been missed historically are available. Now, of course, the flip side of that, maybe people have a different viewpoint on this, is the flip side of that is the level of accessibility to all of that and the ability to just share it so openly diminishes it and makes it less likely to stay in people's memories. There'll be maybe 100 different popular videos of a year or something like that people might, catch a reference to or the like, because it's attached to some other sense like music or, like the what's the dancing frog video or thing that was exciting when my oldest boys were in high school. What's that? I can't remember what it's called. It's like a dancing frog. And then the other one is What Does the Fox Say? And, so those sort of things, or the Gundam style, like these visual and audio elements together make people remember that. But that's not the interesting part of the actual videos. The interesting part is all the people emulating those, right? Like the I'm so happy. There's like 12-hour video of different people sending in them dancing to that song, and it's looped as one continuous, never-ending version of that song, guaranteed to make you suffer. So I'm missing some stuff, and I'm sorry for that. Real question of the day: when drawing a face, what part do you usually start with? Jim says eyes. Gary starts with the overall head shape. Me too, but then what? If we're strictly talking face, then yes, eyes and brow first. I don't know. I think I just start wherever. That's an interesting question. I tend to work around a face instead of drawing its structure. And I build its structure up as I'm going around, making up, the little volumes, the little tonal volumes throughout a face. So that's an interesting question. I'm going to have to pay more attention. I think I started this face with the mouth. There'll be others where I'll start it with the eye, or there'll be others where I start it with the nose. No, I think I started this one with the nose now I think about it. Philip says, Gary said, now Gary, I start with the head shape, circle for the top, then the bottom jaw. Eyes or bridge of nose? That's what Joshua says. That's what he does. It's really interesting. Thanks for that question. Yeah, that's fun. It's fun. I'm gonna have to pay more attention to that this week, I think. Today I'm going to start with the ear. Left ear. Is everybody that has started thinking about this, is there going to be some self-consciousness the next time you start a face? You're going to think about this, or do you think it'll left your mind at that point? So, all right, so now that I've got the structure of our guy, I think I don't know if I'm going to do the eyes or not. I really don't. I think, yeah, I think I'm going to have to. I think I am. That's a fun expression. Okay. It's better to put the eyes in because it does push the pensiveness of the face. Okay, I'm missing a bunch of stuff, and I'm so sorry. How much have I missed? And Moore says, besides construction, I must start with the top of the eye. That's interesting, too. Oh, we saw this. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's what I missed right there. I'll find the eye line, he says while scratching his eye, and the upper ball and try to get the eye direction. Huh. Is that so? Here's a question: is it universal that people use these methods, these approaches to drawing? Because what if you change styles? What if you're trying to be more like doing a more animated character, like a cartoon character specifically? Would you stick to that? Blue. There we go. Just want to beef that up, really push that expression. I start with the character of the person, and people are characters in this little passion play that we call life. If only we could have Jim here on the stream to do that live. Jim, you want to do that live? When he says it, you have to lean this way. Well, I think that this 100. All right. I think it was, I don't know. I feel like I might have been channeling like a Henry Rollins, Lou Reed kind of a thing here. Hey, let's have some more fun with this. I'm getting a call from Bulgaria. Lucky. I feel like it might have been a solicitor. Uh-oh, who we got? Look out, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Pulpate. It's a true story. I'm lying in bed with my wife looking at my iPad. She's looking at her phone. We're getting ready to go to sleep. This lady sends me an inappropriate photo. I froze. Hi, gang. Just got here. Awkward. Was the lady your wife? Because again, just look at her and go, stop that. You stop it. Paul, that was inappropriate. Inappropriate. Thank you, Siri. That was inappropriate, Paul. That was inappropriate. Okay. I don't know how much that's going to show up, but it's part of me, you. Causes inappropriate text. Me, you awareness. Out of control. Out of control, gentlemen. Out of control. My goodness. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so what next? What do I do next? So I think I'm going to throw, where's it? A ruler? No, there it is. Okay. All right. Look at that. He's pretty. Well, that's a tricky one, Paul. Are you dead? By Jove, I think this young man is dead. How about you? You got some life in you, huh? Huh? You got some juice in there? All right. All right, so here's our first panel. So this is the question that is being asked. If any of the national holidays had to be celebrated twice a year, which would it be? Why? So here's our over-aggressive guy asking this question with a little bit of snark. All right, what am I missing? That guy looks like a guy I used to know named Joe. Paul just made a rap. I draw the outline, then a line down the middle of the face, then a line where the eyes are, and then I start drawing the eyes. That's yeah. It's good. Quadrant it up. Does anybody stick to the hard line shapes of the face? I'm throwing the dope rhymes all day, Jim. Dude looks like Rollins and Keith Olbermann had a child. What? That's funny. Rivers Cuomo on roids. So, if the question's being posited at the very onset, at the very start, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this much space here at the bottom so that the text can go right through here asking the question. Royded Rivers. I don't know if anybody could handle that. Grumble. Here we go. The Grumblinator has requested a page. Okay, so you know what? I might do one more thing. Hey, I can't stop myself. So, have you got anything left in there? I'm going through pens like a wood chipper right now. I'm getting spoiled with these pens. Right, River Cuomo. There's certain people you never would think of, looking like they're all roided up. Rivers Cuomo fits that list. But then again, so did Carrot Top. We all know what happened there. I mean, no, he didn't take anything. What we got? No, we're doing good. Okay, does anybody have any specific holidays that they would like to see twice a year? Since this is what we're doing for this page, has anybody got votes? Do we want to put some votes in on which one should be twice a year? We'll go from there. And then we'll have people fight it out on the page. If you do, put them in the comments. Oh, yeah. All right. Hey. I'm all hopped up on Benadryl. NyQuil. Large N, small I, big J, and Q. Yeah, it does kind of look like a bizarre love child of Lou Reed. Now that I think about it. You can just hear him saying, "We're taking your children away." One of the most positive songs in the history of rock and roll. All right, so this is this crazy kid. Okay, what do we got? We got one vote for New Year's Eve. Dre Day doesn't occur once a year. Nobody's remembering Dre. New Year's Eve. That's what we've got our first vote for. So you want a new year halfway through the year. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. Sounds good. Tastes great. Yep. It's got my vote. What about Chris Rock Day? Anybody just walking around slapping each other? Okay. So let's keep rolling, I guess. Do I stick with the red or do I jump into different colors throughout the page, throughout the panels? The drawing looks slightly like Hank Hill Hetfield. Yeah. Hank Hill Hetfield. My name is Bobby. Bobby. Yeah. In another life, Hetfield was never in Metallica. Hetfield sold hot or propane tanks. That was his whole career. A lot of people don't know about some of these other Earths, but they're there. I don't think this is turning out. Okay, you can see it in the screen. Okay, so we got one vote for New Year's Day, which to me sounds like the most sensible of holidays to have twice in a year, is the start of the year. It's got my vote. You got 2 votes for New Year's. In one of the 500 years from now pages, I had the Dr. Corbell Johansson character resurrect Elvis Presley. And I never really stated what the holiday was. I think that he shouts happy birthday at one point, but then they're dressed up for Halloween party. You know, for reasons. I didn't think where did I start this face? I don't remember now. This is our first advocate that we're drawing for a holiday here. I'm having a hard time seeing it because of the color I chose. Hank Hill Hetfield. Too good. It's Bobby grown up. You want some of these water heaters? Yeah. Don't you be giving me any trouble. If we celebrate it twice a year, the years will go by twice as fast. Man, time flies. Started with the bottom of the nose, or as I call it, the schnoz. What are we at? Am I missing stuff? What is that? Money? The Feast of Money? It's one of the things that only you millionaire Californians celebrate there. California, in the mind of many Canadians, of course, everybody lives near the water and has to stand in doorways at their house when there's the earthquakes. I learned that from television. Where we at? What am I missing? Is that Festivus? Festivus for the rest of us? I think the medieval holiday I listed got banned from chat. I didn't ban it. Haha. Time flies when you're having fungus. Ooh. Ooh. Speaking of which, who here's a big fan of mushrooms? No, that's not what it's about. The gopher snake should have a holiday. Jim, do you have an upcoming episode of The Full Fungus you would like to tell us about? And when's Gary going to start streaming again? I just spend my Saturdays rocking back and forth. I gotta cover the light for a second so the orange pops up more for me. Jeez, look at this lady just hollering here, huh? Take her easy, lady. She's really into her holiday, though. Delirium, ding dong. All right, so we've got now angry person who's shouting at our first guy. I think I need to do some heavier contrast color in here, just so that I can make it jump out a little bit more. First, massive headband. Heading out to lunch. Great stream. I catch the rest of the replay. Cool. Thanks for hanging out, Josh. New Heyman on Wednesday. New Heyman on Wednesday. All right. Well, anybody that's here, please check out. Hey, man, how's your movie going? On Jim Luhan's stream, it will probably be at 10 p.m. EST and 7 p.m. PST. I might be wrong. Rock chick. That's what I'm John. All right, that's exciting. Are those times right, Jim, or is there a change to the time you're doing it? And do you have a guest this stream? And who might that exciting guest be? Because they usually are. The last one, I couldn't contain myself. I was so excited. I wanted to ask him questions like, why? And who are you again? And who would you pick in a fight, skunks or squirrels? Okay, so here is my angry rock lady. This guy. Let's put her hand in here as she is gesturing her point. Okay, so what's on the plate right now is today's suggestion is if any of the national holidays had to be celebrated twice a year, which one would it be? And for clarity, that is 6 months apart, twice a year. So if you have a vote on which holiday you think it should be, please feel free to put it in now. I'm really surprised no one's picked Groundhog Day. Some people really like groundhogs. You know what I mean? And we got to respect their choices. We got to allow them to be who they are with their weird groundhog hang-ups. Which is purely for scientific interest. Your time is correct. Guest, toilet paper assault. I don't know what TPA means. But from now on, I think it should mean toilet paper assault. That's just me. And you heard it here, folks. Jim's upcoming guest on Wednesday's episode of Hey Man, how's your movie going? Is toilet paper assault. We'll find out more later. All right. So this is where I have to decide where the bottom is. Yeah, you're good. You're good. We'll stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. All right. So while I'm filling in, so I've got the character laid in, but let's shake it up. Well, how are you going to do that, Chris? Man, am I glad you asked me that. Let's just make them jump right out of that panel, putting a dark contrasted color in behind them. I was watching a stream this morning, and somebody was opening up pen packages. It was a nightmare for me. It just made me want to run down to a local department store and attack the student supplies, the school supplies. I need some of these from pictures. Get into a fight with a soccer mom. Sir, my son needs that package of highlighters right now, if you don't mind. You back off, lady. I like shopping. When it's the rush, I like shopping right before Christmas, getting into fights with people. It's the best. I remember I was at a department store and it was an underwear bin, and I'm literally just reaching in. There's no care. They're all this size is all the same size. I'm just gonna grab one, and as I go to grab, this lady snaps the the package that I was going for right out of my hand, like right out from under me, and I went, okay, and she goes, my child really likes this color. And I said, that's very important then. Very important. You gonna be okay now? She was not pleased with being spoken to like that. She, I'm completely fine, thank you. And she ran away. Ran away, underwear in hand. They were light green. Light green. I've never seen their kind or anything like it ever again. So ideally, by putting the darker color kicking around in the background, it's going to make the foreground step it up a little bit. And now I'm going to put a third color in this panel. What? So, anybody has a vote for what holiday they could handle being twice a year? Please feel free to let us know. And the question of the day is, where do you start drawing a face? When you start drawing one of them, faces or face. Yeah, that makes it jump a lot more. I prefer getting emphasis points. Just because once you're emphasizing certain spots, it really sort of gives form to all of it. I'm debating on putting a pattern on the headband. I'm debating it. It's a great debate. 2016, 2023. What year is it? Who am I? Let's get some crazier makeup here. Let's rock this chick up. Where are we at? Am I missing stuff? To answer my own question, I usually start drawing a face in Chicago. Interesting. Thank you, Jim. Anybody else? When I draw a face, I draw it from the truth. I think long and hard about that. What are these lips' motivation? Yeah. Very dramatic. Very dramatic. Excuse me. All right, so almost done this. Excuse me. All right. Yeah. 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 Uh-huh. Yeah. What color? Yep, I'm weighing in on that old Bloods versus Crips argument here. I've given her a blue headband, knowing full well in certain neighborhoods this lady might get shot. Making sure I'm not missing stuff. Sorry if I am. I'm not ignoring you on purpose. You'll know when I am because I do this. Headband. There we go. So I'm trying to figure out, how I can fit within my schedule doing a few more pages in order to catch me up so that when I hit the now, mind you, I gotta take a drink. If I'm going to do it as 200, the 200th day of the year, I won't make it. I don't think I'll make it. I just don't have enough time, man. It takes too much time. But if I do it as the 15th of August, which would be the 200th day of doing this, yeah, no problem. But because I'm irrational and strangely self-destructive, I think I'm going to go for the 200th day of the year. I won't make it. There's no way. Although, here's some food for thought. Yum, yum, yum. Jack Kirby, for 5 years in a row, did over 1,000 comic pages. That's crazy. It makes me tired thinking about it. 5,000 pages. He had 2 assistants in his studio at given times, and he never had them do anything other than maybe answer the phone for him or keep him company, throw ideas back and forth. That's it. That's kind of crazy. And if you don't know who Jack Kirby is, look him up. At first, his style, people look at his style and they go, wow, it's the greatest thing I ever saw. Or they say, what? This is really basic. But it's actually not. It's far more complex than I think most people give it enough time to really understand how crazy his work is. No drugs. There's 2 guys that just, every idea that comes out of their head is surreal that I'm aware of, and that's Starlin. No drugs. And he did all the whole space opera, Thanos, Captain Marvel, all that jazz for Marvel Comics, and completely sober. Just highly imaginative. It's crazy when you think about it. All right. So this is our first panel after the question. And the answer for this panel is New Year's! Where are we at? 118. We're doing good today. The trick is not to do too obscure a holiday, I guess. I think a funny one would be like Independence Day. But it's mostly, celebrated in the on military bases, and like second Independence Day, it's mostly celebrated in places where they can rub it into government services. The Americans, they look so fancy. They celebrate their days twice. All right, that's coming together. So this is what I'm going to do for this page, is that I'm going to do silly expressions for each person, a little extreme in every case. Why not? It sounds, like some different way to approach it maybe than, hey, why not consider turkey, right? We could have holidays where you can have twice as much turkey. Having Turkey Day every 6 months enables you to have turkey in your fridge all year long. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, hey, everybody. Frank Lee Mapleton has joined us. Hello, sir. How are you? I like your picture of you and your plant there that you put up earlier today, Frank. Frank has been growing a Venus flytrap, and her name is Mr. Johnson. I like the framing on the blue at the top and the bottom. Cool. Good fun. Frank, the question is, where do you start drawing a face? What part of the face do you start drawing it on? Like, what's your process to approach drawing a face? First, I stand 6 feet back from the paper and then throw a marker hard towards it. Hard. Planned Parenthood. It's a very hot topic in the States right now, Planned Parenthood. I don't know why everybody's so upset at the plants. Okay, so there's our first two. Our first holidays. All right, it's been fun. I'm still having fun. We ain't done yet. So it's the same sort of deal as the previous panel, is that I'm going to come in and kick up a bunch of the really light hints now. And so I've got 4 values on this panel. It's 4 specific colors. Oh. Blue, the brown, the orange, and now the white. Now it's 4. Oh, yeah. What am I missing? Frank draws the base of the face, the head shape that will house the face, then the eyes. Nice. So there's a few people that do that approach. I'm telling you guys, man, until you figure it out, you're standing 3 feet back from your drawing and throwing crayons at it. That's the way to get into the big LA galleries. Yeah, I think that's when it's working out. I might have to come back in with the white. I think that this Posca pen has nearly had its day. It's time to let it sally forth over that hillside. Explore new horizons. Go on great adventures. Okay. Just the emphasis points, right? We'll go over the orange or whatever base color you've got. He wants to keep that. Let it peek through. Cool. That's cool. Is there any, before we sign off in a few, is there any last votes that people want to cast for which holiday do they think should occur twice in 1 year? Existing holiday, national holidays. So it's National American and National Canadian. Canada, we have Bonhomme Day. It's how we celebrate the weirdos who get dressed up in giant snowman costumes, and then we blast them off into space when their time is done, and the next person's to take up the mantle. Just like you guys do with the chicken in the baseball. There's a lot of dead chickens floating in space. It's a conspiracy. Conspiracy chicken. Let me see how that looks in the camera. Yeah, that's coming. Frank Salazar Day. That's got to be a day that people celebrate, Frank. Twice a year. National. It's got to be a national holiday. We'll celebrate your birthday, but in the national. If anybody's got any of those, let me know. Put it in the comments after this video. As soon as I'm wrapped up. Don't share me and just chat right now because we're going to sign off in a second and I won't see you in time. And then we get last to the winds. All right, so there's the first two. I've got space enough here for 3 more. And then a big return at the bottom. Maybe 2. But this is exciting. This is the crazy suggestion. If any of the national holidays had to be celebrated twice a year, 6 months apart, which one would it be? If you have a thought on that, if you got a vote on that, let me know. I'm going to get back just a little bit because I got, my stuff to do. Day of the Dead, 1 for the Department, the other for zombies. That's fun. 1 for the Departed, 1 for zombies. That is a lot of fun. We're gonna fit that in this page. Excellent. Okay, that's it for me today. I will be back tomorrow at 2:00. In the meantime, if you got 1-page comic or 1-page story ideas that you want to put forward, please do. You can put them in the comments for the video or on my social media. And other than that, I'm going to keep cracking away. And I hope you do the same. I look forward to seeing anybody's work if they got stuff coming together. If you see the 1-page story prompts and you want to do your version of them, I would love that. Please do so. I think there's a million combinations of how any of these pages can be executed. And I would look forward to seeing the different versions and the different ideas that people are coming up with from a simple suggestion. Because that's where the true creativity lies, is that everybody has a unique voice. And I'd like to hear yours. Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to sign off for now. Thanks very much for everybody for joining. I will see you tomorrow at 2. Bye for now.